Hey, good morning, everybody. Good to see you all this morning. Here we go, lower the music. All right, let's dive into it. Let me make sure, get over here to YouTube, make sure everything's good there. Seems a little hot. There we go. Maybe a little less hot. Although I am hot. A little hot on the lighting this morning. Hey, good morning. Welcome to what episode is it? Hey, good morning, everybody. Episode 1319, 1319. Good to see you, everybody. Good morning. My name is Sean Murphy. I'll be your international speaker and trainer, your host this morning. And I've got a whole bunch of people here this weekend for the Path. This is the second live event we're doing here at the ranch. And there's a little picture. You can see, I'm pointing to the screens. Nobody can really see it, but that's a picture of dinner last night underneath some solar powered umbrellas. So leadership requires you to become a good follower. Here's where most people fail in their leadership. They forget to follow. They forget to lead by guiding. Yeah, we have one of the dogs that we have here. Good morning, everybody. One of the dogs that we have here is an Australian. No, that was a Guinness. This is a blue tick healer. They call him a healer. Beamish is a blue tick healer, and when one of his brother dogs, right, Seamus, gets the ball, Beamish will get behind him and will lead him where he wants him to go simply by, as Seamus is walking, Beamish will go to the left, guide him that way, to the right, guide him that way. And Beamish is constantly directing where Seamus goes from behind by guiding him. Sometimes leaders are out in the front saying, come this way. Well, they don't know all of the challenges that person is facing right now. And sometimes we have to be a good follower to become a good leader. So what I wanted to share with you this morning are what are some of the ways that you can lead from the front while still guiding people? Well, one of the ways is you've got to look at your humble meter. You got to look at your humble meter. Too many people when they lead, they fall short of making sure people follow. Sometimes some people, when they start to lead, when they think they have this opportunity to lead, to grow, to move people forward, what happens is that they do not turn around to check, and in very short order, they're just out for a walk because nobody's following them. So what's a way that you can become this good follower, this humble leader? Well, the first thing is to make sure that somebody wants to go on a journey. Now, this is when you're leading. I'm not talking about you going and finding your own hero's journey. You're going to be on your hero's journey. I'm talking about what it takes for you to lead people. If you want to lead people, you can go on your hero's journey all by yourself. You can also go on your hero's journey from the ordinary to the extraordinary, answering your call to adventure. You can go on that journey as well while being a leader. Does that make sense? So the challenge is most people find it very hard to lead. Let's see if I can't turn down the sun here a little bit. That's a little better. Most people don't want to go on their hero's journey, but they want to lead. I don't want to get better, but I want to help you get better. That kind of comes across as cheesy. I'm sure there's some better word for it, but I just call it cheesy leadership. It's the do as I say do, right? Kind of like a parent kind of conversation. Do as I say do, not do as I do. Right? That's one phrase that I heard growing up. Another one is I heard people would use, my parents never used this one on me, but I heard this one. If you put your feet under my table, you do as I say do. What's some of the phrases that you've heard in your area, in your culture, in your neck of the woods, what are some phrases that you heard that meant do what I'm telling you to do? I know I don't do it, but you need to do it. Right? All too often, there's a whole bunch of people who that's their leadership style. Does that make sense? Drop a L in the chat if that makes sense. If that's a leadership style, you should do this, right? The shoulding all over you. So now here's the reality. Here's the reality. Excuse me. How do you become a great leader? See, there's a lot of stuff going on. How do you become a great leader? How do you go on your hero's journey? How do you not leave people behind? How do you not get frustrated because nobody's really paying attention? They're not keeping to their word. How do you do all of this stuff? See, that's strategy. All of this how isn't going to work as you elevate. The how will reveal itself. Listen, have you ever drank a cup of coffee in an ecstatic, peaceful mood of joy and happiness? And have you ever drank a cup of coffee totally pissed off and mad at the world? See, the coffee is the same. It's your state that can make the coffee bitter. It's your state that can make your days bitter. Joe Dispenza says that your personal reality, what's happening around you, does that make up your personality? Or does your personality, who you are, who you say you are, who you believe you are, make up your personal reality, the way things happen around you? See, the same thing holds true with leadership and becoming a good follower. When you decide to become a good follower, people want to be with you. Most people are never followed. Listen, the challenge is with social media. I have 10,000 followers. I have 50,000 followers. Awesome. Go make a post that says in the next 24 hours, you'll give everybody $10 who signs up for this, who leaves a comment. You think you'll get some people who leave a comment? Do you think you'll get some people sharing that you made a comment? Why? Because they get paid to do it. Those aren't followers. That's like rich people who got a posse that the second they lose their money, their posse's gone. It's 2022. Can you, somebody let me know, can you still say posse? Is that still an acceptable phrase, or does that sound like, oh, wow, he must be from the Old West. He's talking about a posse. Anyways, you could have 10,000 followers, 100,000 followers, and ask your community, hey, listen, leave a comment. Now, there's some cheesy posts that happened on Facebook, or maybe still happen. Listen, the algorithms aren't letting me see all of my people. Leave a comment below. Or I'm getting ready to clean out my friends list. Leave a comment if you don't want to be deleted. I don't know. Maybe those are real requests. I don't know. I kind of know, but I don't want to say. So, good leadership. What makes you a good follower? The last book you bought. Anybody remember the last book they bought? Not the last book you read, the last book you bought. Did you send a message to the author and thank them for the book? What? I mean, if you really wanted to be a follower, it's one thing to click follow on Amazon and say, I'm following this author. Have you ever sent an email? Listen, nothing may ever come back. How much of your stuff, how much of your joy, how much of your energy, how much of your love have you put back and it's never come back? So now the question is, I'm just hearing an odd noise here. Interesting. So there we go. Yes, I was kind of distracted. Hey, Michelle, can you come check this noise? So back to the ranch, literally back to the ranch. So the question becomes, how do you become a good follower? And in asking that question, there's like this ticking noise over here. Hear it?
It's a fire outside the window.
What?
Yeah. I opened the window so it was
So we got a fire going outside in a campfire in a little fire pit, and I heard this crackling, and I'm because it's echoing coming in. Anyways, long story short, yes, the fire crackling. Thanks, RC. I hadn't heard that before. I've been doing lives from here for months now, and that was it was a new signal. This is how subtle you can be to draw somebody's attention away. And I'm a pretty good focused individual. So imagine if you have people that you're leading and somebody lights a fire outside, and then somebody else opens a window, and now all of a sudden you hear the crackling, but because you don't have that reference in your brain, see, I didn't have that sound of the fire crackling as an audio to play in my brain. I'm just telling you what's going on. So it caused me, because I could have been water. I was making it up to be so many different things. The people who were sitting outside, who are here at the ranch for the weekend, for the training this weekend, knew it was a fire, knew it was crackling, weren't concerned at all. How many times in your leadership do you say things that you think you fully understand? You're sitting around your AKA fire conversation, and there's somebody on the fringe who can't quite grasp it, doesn't quite hear it, and they get confused. They lose their path. They lose their concentration. And then they say, that makes me uncomfortable. How many times has your leadership, has your teachings, have your lessons made people uncomfortable? Until somebody comes along and says, oh, that sound, that's the fire crackling. Now I'm totally at peace. Literally, I'm totally at peace. And now the question becomes, what would happen if I didn't ask? I would have had to have gotten up and searched for myself. But did you see how lazy I was? The guy who's teaching this, do you see how lazy he was? See how important I believed I was by saying, hey, could you come check this out while I'm talking to my masses of converts? All 6 of you. I just want to show you how in real life it happens to all of us. It happens through all of us. We get to become good followers when we start to understand what it is we're following. Does that make sense? So I'll ask you, Napoleon Hill calls it your definite major purpose. What is your definite major purpose that you're following, so that when you go through life, when you go through things, when you go through issues, when you go through experiences, when you have the real world show up as a fire crackling outside, that it can distract you? And the funny thing is literally, I'm going to point to where the fire is. The fire's about 30 feet that way outside. And there's a window open, right? See these windows behind me? The one that's over there is open. But I was hearing it over here, because funny how things echo. So I'll ask you this. When your leadership message, if it is so convoluted that the echo doesn't make sense, because there was no way in hell if somebody would have told me, oh, that's a fire crackling. I'm like, no, that sounds like wood banging against a door. It sounds like water dripping, because you can make things up in your mind. How many of us have made up a story that's not really true? So I say all of this. I share all of this. I feel like Foghorn Leghorn. Anybody remember who Foghorn Leghorn is? I say, boy, from the cartoons. I just watch Sean to see when he's going to break character. Becoming a good follower. allows you to become an excellent leader. Becoming a good follower allows you to become an excellent leader because you're asking people to follow. If you haven't figured out how to become a good follower, you're going to suck at being a good leader. It's just that way. Good leaders will do things that most leaders won't. They'll do the simple things. They'll have an anticipation. They'll anticipate what their followers will need. How many times have you anticipated somebody? You saw them looking for something and you knew what they were looking for and you delivered it to them. And they went, "Oh, thank you. How'd you know?" Because you paid attention, whether it be a napkin, some water. They were looking for a pen. They were looking for a pen to draw on the whiteboard. Something. You just anticipated your followers' needs. Does that make sense? So becoming a good leader requires you to understand what it means to be a good follower. Followers want to be good followers. Leaders want to be good leaders. Let followers become good followers. Hopefully, you'll encourage them enough to become their own great leader and start leading their own communities. I have some of my students that I'll slip in there going, "Wow, that's awesome. You should start a call." And they start a call. And 2 years later, they do their first live event, which was off the chain. It was an incredible event. What are you doing to understand what your followers need? The reason that most people don't have any followers or anybody that's in their community, anybody that they get to serve at the highest level, is because if you did to yourself what you did to them, you wouldn't follow you. Does that make sense? So there you go. There's some conversation for this morning. Hey, Jen, how are you? Big hugs. Let's make money, Luis. Good to see you, brother. So I hope you have an incredible day. It's an incredible Friday. Today, we're going to start off our sessions today with the magic mirror process. And the queen of the magic mirror, Daniela Jukic, is going to be leading that. And she'll be walking people through an exercise where you really look into yourself and look into your own eyes. It's not pretty powerful. It's wildly powerful. The last time we did it here at the ranch, it was life-changing for people. Literally. A 20, 30-minute session literally changed their life. Why? Because you're getting rid of the distraction and you're really focusing in. So if you ever get to be a part of one of Daniela's magic mirror sessions, I would encourage you to do it. And then we're going to go into a little bit of the Dickens process from Tony Robbins. We're going to be talking about how to break some of the biggest limiting beliefs you have that aren't at the surface. Wait, what? What did you just say? We're going to help you break some of your biggest limiting beliefs that are not your surface conversations. Oh, I need to lose weight. I have trouble with good food. I have trouble with bread. I love carbs. That's a surface limitation. That's not what stops you. It's the ones just below the surface that stir everything up. They're the constant pot stirrers that cause you frustration, aggravation, and delay. So there you go. Those are some of the things. And then tomorrow we get to go out on the water and boats and jet skis and have some fun and play and have some relaxation, because after today's mental workout, we need some physical fun, because it's I'll just put it this way. It's going to be a tough day. I haven't bought one yet, but I would be thinking probably I'll need one soon, a bulletproof vest for when I do these events, because there's some of them are that mentally challenging. So there you go. There's another day from Rocky Creek Ranch. I am your head traveling misfit, rewiring at the cellular level. I'll see y'all where? I'll see you at the next event. Thanks, everybody, and bye for now. And there, and YouTube, love you bunches. I will see you soon. Stop stream. I'm your head.